Hey, Sean, thank you so much for joining us today. You've been nominated, Y Local is the company name, has been nominated with Inman as the Innovator Awards. So I'd love for you to share with us what all you're about and how you help agents and the pain point that you relieve.
Yeah, 100%. I'm happy to. And Dan, thanks so much for hosting us here. Quite an honor, actually, to be on this, and also quite an honor to be recognized by Inman. I think when you start a company like YLOPO, with the kind of ambitions we have, particularly re-entering this space after having been in the space once already, innovation is obviously the first thing that's on our mind. So really proud of the things we've done, really proud of the things we've done with social media for lead gen, both buyers and sellers. And yeah, just really appreciate the opportunity to show you what we have here. So should I just jump straight into it?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Okay, cool. So we describe, you can see the description here of YLOPO as a complete digital marketing solution. I think actually the more appropriate description is a growth engine for real estate businesses, okay? So, we focus on a lot of different things. The thing I like try to underline when I kind of exhibit YLOPO to people is we're not just a lead generator. Certainly, we have a ton of experience in generating leads. I think we have really a massive amount of expertise across Google and particularly across Facebook, which is kind of our primary focus, social media. But we're also very good at automating communications with leads. We're extremely good at staying in front of leads across the internet, across social media. Obviously, if you're a real estate agent, I get asked a lot, like, how do I increase my conversion percentage? How do I transact more deals? And I think the fundamental answer to that question is you have to talk to exponentially more people. And that's kind of what we facilitate at YLOPO. We generate new business coming in, obviously. We also really effectively help bolster your contact rate with both your old database of leads and with YLOPO generated leads as well. So I'm kind of just going to run over our product wheel here, and I have these various tabs I'm gonna click through as I show this to you. Just to kind of give you a basic sense of the technology. We are obviously a technology company. First and foremost, we provide really excellent website infrastructure. That's kind of the foundation of our technology. The pivotal piece of that is an IDX home search experience. That's where we want to funnel your leads into. In order to attract a lead, in order to pull them out of, say, Facebook, you need to give them a value proposition. You need to show them value. Value in this case is the ability for them to look at homes on a really beautifully designed, very simple to use home search experience. You're kind of looking at one right here. We would attract a lead, we would send them in here, and we would be looking to gather intel. That intel would be derived by what they actually do on this site, right? Fundamentally, the site is really fast. You can see the photos load like basically instantaneously. It's really designed to be seamless and not annoying. I think that a lot of home search sites are kind of a little bit annoying, right? So it also snaps and optimizes to mobile effortlessly. So no matter what size the device is, sorry about the background picture, it will resize and reshape so that no matter where your consumer is, we're able to capture them that way. We're sourcing them into this site. So just keep this site in mind as kind of the basic funnel into which your leads go, okay?
Yeah.
Naturally, that site, as you kind of noticed there, is sort of basic, and it's fundamentally supposed to be basic because at the point in which we capture a lead, they just want to look at homes. They don't really necessarily want to be bothered with branding or pop-up videos or photographs or any of that stuff quite yet. But you naturally want to promote your business and have a way of curating the impression that you give to your client, and that's where the branded site comes in. Now, these two sites are actually interwoven. The home search site, which I just showed you, is YLOPO proprietary technology. And this site right here, we've built on Squarespace. And we built this on Squarespace basically because all real estate websites look exactly the same. And we wanted to give our consumers the ability to differentiate their look and feel. So this is kind of like a standard template here. You can see the home listings are embedded right in this branded site. And if you click them, you naturally snap over into the YLOPO home search site. So you can seamlessly get back and forth between the two. They are interwoven, even though they're technically built on different infrastructure, right?
Yeah. So with the home search platform, that's really good for agents if they're thinking like, how would I use that part of it? When you consider doing a Google ad or a Bing ad for anybody in your city that searches property-specific words like townhouse for sale, then you would obviously drive them to a page that has all the townhouses in that area. They don't care about branding. All they want to do is look at the photos. So your platform right there is really good for being kind of like an impromptu landing page that's specific to the type of property.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you mentioned Google there. We actually try to shy away from Google a little bit, and I'll kind of talk about why that is. Um, Honestly, the website infrastructure, I like showing it first because I think it makes it a little bit easier to understand our product. But the real sweet spot for Ylopo is going to be in these three puzzle pieces right here: lead generation and lead nurture, both of which are self-explanatory. Listing Rocket is our own proprietary approach to generating leads and help bolstering the sell side of your business. I kind of talk about that. Let me explain the funnel from a lead recognizing an ad, seeing your value prop to them, and then ending up kind of in your universe on your websites, right? And the first thing I want to point out as a kind of what I call primary differentiator number one for Ylopo. So if you're kind of asking me, Sean, why are you different than other systems like this I've seen in the past? This middle button, mission control. Let me show this to you. This is mission control, okay? This actually looks rather like something we'd use internally to build your ads with, but in reality, you would also have access to this console. So what this is effectively is, it's to my knowledge, we are really the first company out there that's willing to do all of the work for you on the marketing side, but still allow you total transparency into what we're doing. So you can literally follow how we're allocating your dollars in terms of our marketing spend, okay? This is really, really important because we have a very strong emphasis on Facebook. I can talk about why we find Facebook advantageous over Google and such, but fundamentally what we want to do is we want to give you the ability to kind of, if you want to, make yourself a co-pilot, so to say, and step in here and alter your marketing universe with Ylopo. Really, this is a partnership is what I'm saying. We want to make clear where your dollars and cents are going, the kind of results they're getting, but we also want to make clear that you can also tweak and modify the stuff as well. So for example, let me talk about an ad type for lead generation, new lead generation that we call Listing Rocket. You can see this tab up here. Yep. These are all our client, Barry in Virginia Beach. These are all his listing rockets. What a listing rocket is if you think about an ad as, let's put it, think about lead gen as like wanting to catch a particular kind of fish, right? Then the ad is the bait, right? So when we go on Facebook, we want to put the right bait out there for the right kind of fish that you're trying to catch. It's a goofy metaphor, but I think it makes sense. The bait, we actually want to build out of your listing, all right? And the reason we want to do that is there's many, many tangible benefits. Like for example, well, obviously it makes your sellers happy, right? When we're generating a lead out of Facebook, what you really need from Facebook is authentic interest. So if someone's on Facebook, they're on there to look at various things. They don't necessarily know that they want to look at real estate the moment they log on, right? So if you want to pull them out of Facebook and into your universe, you have to entice them. And the enticement should really be authentic. Like my point there is if you're running a single photo of like the sexiest kitchen anyone has ever seen, you're going to get a lot of clicks, but there's no proof there that they're legitimate home searchers, which really doesn't do you much good from a lead generation standpoint, right? Yeah. So we want to show a legit property, and we want them to click on that legit property because they're interested in it, okay? Now, all you have to do when you get a listing to make a listing rocket is literally come over here, type in, go to create listing rocket, type in the MLS number, and I want to make clear that this mission control console is just completely automated. So the brilliance of it is that no more time wasted in Ads Manager or Power Editor.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do this all for you automatically, okay? So to go back to my analogy again of the fish in the pond kind of thing, and trying to catch the right kind of fish. Let me pull up a different ad here so you can sort of see. Yep. So say we're looking at this listing right here, right? Now, you're trying to catch a certain kind of fish with this bait, right? And that fish is obviously not a luxury home buyer or a trade up or anything like this. It's more of a senior kind of trade down perhaps lead, right? It's a single story ranch home.
Yeah. Scroll
Scroll up here, you see the ponds in which we fish, these demographic categories. We have run millions of dollars of ads on Facebook, and we have distilled our overarching demographic universe of Facebook down to 10 categories that we think really, really move the needle, okay? And here they are. And you can see they're kind of a cross-section, right? Like you have luxury buyers, and you also have, seniors. You also have investor flippers, right? Trade-ups, current renters. So it's not just one variety of person. It's quite a spectrum, actually. We want to point this ad at the appropriate demographic. Okay.
Yeah, senior. You check off senior probably on that one.
Yep, exactly. And it says this will create a new set of ads targeted to the following demographic. Do you want to proceed? And that will literally just turn that on for you. Now, naturally, we're going to manage that for you, but I want to make that clear. If you want to do that on our system, all you have to do is click that, okay? The other problem you run into on Facebook is what's called ad exhaustion. And this is where, say you run an ad and you run it to a reasonable size audience, but after about a week or two, the audience has already seen the ad and the ad is relatively static, meaning it's always the same photographs. No one clicks on it anymore. So what we want to do is we want to automatically refresh your listing throughout the stages, okay? So if it goes new to open house to 30 days, whatever it is, we're going to update this particular ad with new artistic, new copy, okay? And we are going to refresh it for each respective demographic as well. So if you had 6 separate demographics selected here across these, 6 stages, that's 36 separate ad campaigns that we would run for you. What that does is it yields the best overall cost per lead that you're going to be able to achieve in your market, okay? Because you're no longer have that kind of squeezing blood out of a stone problem that you get when your ads get exhausted, when they get fatigued because they've been seen too much. So that's
this is a way better platform than the agents having to just log into Facebook. You're taking my job away because I show agents how to do this, but this is way easier for people. Can you click the open house one? Can you go back to the different ads and then click open house?
Sure. When the automation here is going to be just, well, this actually is already open house. So you see New Virginia Beach open house, don't miss this open house, multiple offers expected if we go price reduced. And there are copy edits we do make in the course of running these as well. That's where there is sort of a manual like you are hiring us as your marketing assistant, so to say, right? So we will make some other modifications beyond just the standard machine automation that we have here. Virginia Beach just had a price reduction. This deal won't last. See it before it's gone, right?
If the agent clicks on text ad or ad text in the top left above the photo, that allows them to edit it on the fly. Cool.
Yep. Swap out photos, anything they want to do there. Okay. Now, the beauty of Listing Rocket beyond that sort of automation and just the power of making your seller happy. Well, naturally, you might say, well, how do I prove I'm making my seller happy, right? Like, how do I prove to my seller what I'm doing, right? Well, as we go through this process, we generate so much data. We actually accumulate this data into these beautiful Listing Rocket presentation reports that you can send to your seller to prove to them precisely what you're doing and the kind of demographic emphasis you have.
Weekly feedback.
Yep, great feedback. And then we can also help you win subsequent listing presentations by taking that data, the overarching data even. Like, for example, the fact that Barry had 52,000 views of his ads in the last 30 days. It's an extraordinarily powerful thing to sit down and say, let me prove to you why I'm different than Joe Realtor, right? Joe Realtor is showing your ad to his 200 Facebook friends. I'm doing a reverse lookup into Facebook. And I want to make clear that there are actually 35,000 people that I can touch around your property that are specified as likely to move soon, or first-time home buyers, or who have recently browsed homes for sale on Facebook. So this is actually a full listing presentation.
Wow, so the agent would populate a little bit of data with what the address is, and then it fills in those numbers automatically and makes this?
Exactly. You would come here to generate seller report. You would type in the address of the person, the prospect, the listing prospect that you're about to present to, and someone like Barry, for example, who's run, like 128 listing rockets, there's a home in here that fits the bill so closely to whoever he'll pitch that he can basically show them spec ads that are very, very close to what that ad would look like, right? So he can explain to them precisely this approach he's going to take. And this is the demographic emphasis we take, the ad refresh, a little bit of an educational session about Facebook. I mean, it's really going to paint you, the realtor, as just an expert in social media marketing, automated social media marketing. And the last part of this, which I love the most, is we can actually do a reverse lookup into your pre-existing lead database and let them know. You can close out the presentation essentially by saying, not only am I going to do all that for you and get in front of these 35,000 people, but I have 57 buyers who fit the bill already at the ready in my database, so I can go back in my office this afternoon and hit up right away as long as we sign today. And that is really, really powerful. Okay, so I hope that's cool. And that makes sense.
That is amazing. Cool. Yeah.
Cool. Great. Let me move on because there's a lot. While
you move on, I got a question. The ad spend that they do on Facebook, do they pay you and then that is it a cost per listing? What's that look like?
You allocate an ad budget based on the level size of the platform you buy with YLopo. We have a platform fee and we have an ad spend. And that ad spend, obviously, that money we're allocating directly into your ads, essentially. We're taking 10% of that figure to pay fees and Facebook fees and so on, but we'll allocate the money based on how you see fit. That's the other beautiful part of mission control is you can control that. You can literally come up here and adjust your budget, right? And you can even, say you go on vacation, you can even pause your marketing. So there's just a level of control here that you're going to have with us. I think that, not to get sidetracked here, but I think when any realtor or realtor team signs up with a lead generator, there's such little transparency. They know so little about what's happening, and they have such little mechanisms for control that you're kind of just at the whims of the lead generator. You don't know precisely where your leads are being generated or where they're coming from. You don't really have the capacity to fine tune any of this stuff, and that's why we built mission control, is to give you that ability. Okay. So now the next thing I want to talk about is where right now, this is differentiator number 2 for YLopo, okay? So where we have a major competitive advantage. We are, to my knowledge, the only company that's executing this particular ad technology with Facebook. We have an extremely deep relationship with Facebook. They actually did the first of 3 case studies. Actually, I think they just finished the 2nd case study on us. Mm-hmm. They sort of make the claim themselves that we have the deepest integrations with their marketing platform of any real estate technology company out there that you're going to find, okay? But the principal ad technology that I think moves the needle more than even Listing Rocket are dynamic ads. So what is a dynamic ad? A dynamic ad is when YLopo, as your lead generator, is effectively uploading the entire MLS to Facebook daily, so that Facebook has the raw materials to build ads. And then we have an interface with Facebook where we're essentially saying to them, for example, we want to go after ranch or 1-story homes, right? I need to give you, Facebook, the raw materials in which to build these ads. I'm going to let you know what to show to individuals who are interested in a ranch or 1-story home. But Facebook is actually the best for identifying the audience, right? One of the reasons they're so darn powerful is they have so much intel, so much data, their algorithms are so powerful that they know who to show the ads to more than anyone. So say, for example, I wanted to target like something even as specific as horse properties. I can tell Facebook, here's what to show to horse property buyers. And Facebook is going to make the identifications for the audience and show it to the appropriate buyers. So we can get so segment specific in how we generate your leads. And since the ads are so precise, and since we're paying Facebook for the placement, they make sure that they're seen by the individuals who are going to be interested in horse properties. So it could be that specific, okay? Waterfront properties, for example, right? Here's a dynamic ad for waterfront properties. The beauty of the dynamic component is that there might be 500 properties that fit the bill for waterfront properties in the particular MLS, right? That means I can show a new ad every day. So if you think about it like slinging arrows and wanting to hit a bullseye, I get to sling a new arrow every day.
Yeah. So it's automatically pulling in this IDX right
exactly.
into the ad and refreshing it. Wow, that's so cool. It's like, you ever see the picture of the old man fishing in the boat and he's got like 20 fishing rods?
Yeah.
The dog's looking in the water because one of the bobbers is going. This is like doing that exact thing. You're putting out so many fishing poles that obviously one's going to bite.
Precisely, and to take that analogy further, the hooks are precisely placed. So
yeah.
The targeting
like
is so
golf. I see. What else we got here? Let me go down. There's some cool niches there. Like the waterfront, the horse one is really cool. Golf, new build.
This is not it, by the way. I mean, there's more. We can do way more than this. This is just kind of what we're doing with Barry right now, based on his MLS. The segmentation in Facebook is really sensational. So.
Fixer uppers would be a good one too.
Yeah. So naturally, what's happening there, right, is they're seeing the ad. Just to kind of give you a sense of the funnel. Oops, this one's actually inactive. Let me pick that. So here's a ranch or 1-story home. Unfortunately, we can't help it if people take bad photographs. So realtors always take good photos. But if they click learn more, what we're essentially doing is we're capturing their information straight out of Facebook. So this is something else about the beauty of Facebook. They pull the data for the first name, last name, phone number, email address, straight from what's associated with their Facebook profile. This is called lead ad technology, okay?
Yeah.
And that's pre-filled. So the beauty of that is the consumer seldom changes that information. So you get good contact information.
Real names, real email.
Right, exactly. I mean, if you bought 100 leads and 50 of them had bad contact information, I hate to break it to you, but you really only bought 50 leads, you know? So we try to get as high quality contact credentials as we can, because if the numbers game of online lead conversion to bear out successfully, you need to have, again, exponentially more contacts than you normally do. And obviously, if you have good contact information, you can actually contact people. So it stands to reason that you want to get the best data that you possibly can, and we do. Okay, let me move on to remarketing. And because I think this is actually just about the most powerful thing that we do, okay? The dynamic ad technology is great for acquiring leads. It really is, because that segmentation is so specific. But once we acquire a lead and we send them into the YLOPO home search experience and we get them looking at homes, and we learn what they want, that machine learning is so critical. Because what I want to then do is I want to make you a permanent presence as the realtor in their Facebook profile. And the beautiful part of dynamic ads is that I can now tell Facebook, basically I'm saying to Facebook, remember, you already have all the raw materials in the form of the MLS, which we're uploading to you every day. Here is what Sally Jones, specific 2-bedroom ranch home searcher lead, is actively looking at on Facebook. I want you to show Sally Jones dynamic ad content for 2-bedroom ranch homes in her Facebook profile every single day, okay? So basically we make you a permanent presence in your lead's Facebook profile. And since the ad content is dynamic, again, we get to sling that new arrow every single day to Sally Jones. Because of this, look at these numbers, for example. Barry has
blew me away, by the way, because when you said like this is the best, one of the most exciting parts is the remarketing, I was like, really? All the other stuff is so exciting. But once you add the dynamic part, that it's based on their criteria, I've never seen a company offer that. That is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, the reason it works really is because Facebook is such a strange thing if you really think about it. There's very few platforms online where people go and spend so much of their time. The average American, I know that you're in Canada. I imagine this extrapolates to Canada as well, but the average American, the study they did was that the average American spends as much as 20 minutes a day looking at their Facebook profile. I spend 20 minutes a day on so few things. So just that fact means that it's going to be seen. And the problem that realtors have, I kind of call it contact attrition, okay? This is when, if I gave a realtor a database of 1,000 leads tomorrow, in 6 months, they will have been spam classified on such a significant percentage of that database. Their number would have been blocked by such a significant percentage of that database that they're not really talking to the lead database as a whole anymore. The beauty of Facebook is that people see the ad. Fundamentally, they just see the ad. And because the ad is dynamic, it's incredibly relevant to them. And so they click through it at wildly high rates. Like Barry's 13,000 person database, for example, 2,800 people, that's a full third of the database, have already engaged on 4,300 separate clicks on the 22nd of the month here. So there's a full week left, and he's already engaged 3,000 people with those ads. You're never going to get that from anything else that you would do in the realm of real estate lead nurture. So the power of that is so incredible. Now you might ask, okay, Sean, that's great. Why is it important, though, that someone would click on my remarketing ad? The reason that it's important is because after they do, they get back in your home search experience, right? They're looking at homes, and that is intelligence. That's information that you can use. What we do with that information, okay? If I switch over to the CRM here, is I want to send you, here's a lead to Rita LeBron, okay? It's in Virginia Beach. I want to send you these priority lead alerts. So for example, Tarita looked at 2244 Wolf Street for the 9th time on March 13th. It's a little bit of an old lead, but using it as an example.
Yeah.
Once she looked at that property for the 9th time, I want to be able to say to you as my client, kind of poking the side with a pencil and say, call Tarita. She wants to look at 2244 Wolf Street. And you now have the ability to make a call that's so much more precise to her. Instead of saying, hey, Tarita, we talked a few months ago, how's the kids? The cold call approach where it's like, why are you calling me, right? You're now saying, look, you obviously love 2244 Wall Street. It's a great place. Why don't we go take a look tomorrow, right? And that approach, that call is so much more timely, so much more strategic. It's a value proposition because you're giving her something that she wants. And
Did
now,
that automatically go on the dashboard to show the agent? How does the agent know that, other
yeah,
than them going to her profile and like scrolling down, is there like an alert or a filter?
yeah, there is. I mean, I'm going a little fast because
No, that's cool. I like it.
yeah, the time restraint. But so this, for example, is Follow Up Boss. This is one of our partnership CRMs. So when you join on with Ylopo, you'd pick a CRM. We have two that we highly, highly recommend. Although we can kind of work with others, and I could talk about the limitations. But Lion Desk and Follow Up Boss are our two primary partners on the CRM side. So you get yourself a Follow Up Boss account, and that would be your organizing CRM. A CRM with Ylopo, honestly, it's mostly just a workflow management tool because we automate so much of the communication. We're sending out listing alert emails to your leads. We're behavioral texting your leads, which I'll talk about in just a moment. So say you want to pop into the lead record on Follow Up Boss. You're into Rita LeBron here. You'll notice Ylopo automatically sent this in, and we'll automatically text notify you. We'll automatically email notify you as well. So it's really, really hard to miss this notification. I honestly kind of say that Ylopo is all about the moment that you get a priority lead alert. Because from generating a lead, whether it's listing rocket or not, to all the remarketing Facebook lead nurture that we do, that really fundamentally is all about you just winning an appointment so you can get a transaction, right? If you don't win the appointment, it's really not worth anything. So the appointment is going to be much more likely won when you get such a precise notification sent to you. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. Fundamentally, everyone in real estate is elbowing for room, jostling for space to get people engaging with their material, right? Whether it be their website, their advertisements, or whatever it is, right? In order to engage with your material, whether it be your home search site or otherwise, something has to drive the consumers there. Now, I argue that Facebook remarketing is the best driver that you're going to find. The reason you want to drive them there is so you can learn about what the lead wants and needs. This way you can call them at the timely moment. And that is precisely what we're trying to do with these priority lead alerts here. Okay. So it's very strategic. Everything is for a purpose. And where it gets even better is after I send my realtor client a priority lead alert, I acknowledge that realtors are incredibly hardworking people, very, very busy. There is a chance that they're going to miss that notification and not make that follow-up, right? So what Ylopo does for you, we have a tool called behavioral texting. What we'll actually do is we will actually text to Rita 12 hours later with a text from a local number posing as your assistant, okay? And we'll say essentially, to Rita, we saw you love 2244 Wolf Street. Would you like to go take a look, right? This is so-and-so's assistant, right? So we'll actually step in with an AI-based piece of communication to try to elicit a positive response out of Tarita, and then we'll hand that conversation off to you once we get that positive response. So I want to make clear, we're not interacting with a lead with a machine. That's very, very risky. None of the AI chatbots are actually up to snuff quite yet. We're just trying to elicit a positive response out of that lead so we can hand it off to you at that moment.
This really is a beginning, during, and after full package.
It really is. Yeah, it really is. But the thing, Dan, is that when we started Ylopo, like the reason the branded website, this stuff I showed you, these beautiful sites are built on Squarespace. And the reason that we partner with a company like Follow Up Boss on the CRM side is, I think one of the big problems, I'm not going to name any names, but I think one of the big problems with the all-in-one big box lead generation companies is that they've really tried to do everything well themselves. And when you do that, usually, I'll be blunt, one part of your product just sucks. And there's really little way around that, right? So we really tried to play to our strengths. This is not our first rodeo. Our founders ran a full company called Tiger Lead Solutions before Ylopo.
Oh yeah, we used Tiger. I used Tiger back in the day. Our budget was like, man, what was it? We were spending like $6,000 a month. Through
cool.
Tiger, way back.
Wow, that would have made you a big client. That's great. Yeah, I mean, look, we ran that company and it was very successful and sold it. Here we are back at Ylopo. We're back here for a reason. I think, again, just to repeat myself as we sort of run down the 30 minutes here, innovation was really our goal this time around. And we wanted to innovate in ways that we can really, really move the needle based on our expertise and let other companies like Squarespace show their power on our platform and give our clients the ability to kind of customize their universe using things like Follow Up Boss while still delivering the goods on what Ylopo is really good at doing, which is fundamentally finding new business, nurturing new business.
Who's an ideal client? Because I know like some people are watching this and they're like, oh man, I want this, but they have a total marketing budget of $300 for ads and technology. And it's like, I don't think that budget would work for this program. Is there like could you narrow it down a little bit to say, hey, if anybody's in this category, we're a perfect fit for you?
Honestly, we can help anyone. I got to be honest about that. Whether you're a single agent and you need a small setup and you maybe don't need a ton of new leads, maybe you want to market to your sphere. You want to run remarketing to your sphere, right? We can do that. Maybe you want to remarket to a pre-existing lead database you already have. We can do that. Bring your lead database in with us. Let us run Facebook ads to them, okay?
Oh, yeah. So you can import other people's databases into Follow Up Boss or whatever.
Right. Our prices start as low as $295 tech plus $100 remarketing. So basically $395 for a solid remarketing package, all the way up to being able to facilitate lead gen for very, very large teams and brokerages. So frankly, we can help anybody. There's no limitation here. I think there's an element of fright that people feel when they see, wow, since there's so much here, Ylopo necessarily has to be very expensive. That's actually not accurate. We're really dedicated to helping the entire cross-section of the real estate industry, from a brand new agent all the way through to an established team. And we really can help anybody. And we're also dedicated, by the way, to incorporating new technology into our product suite and adding it to the package without charging a la carte prices for anything. So it continues to expand. I got to be honest with you. When I started selling Ylopo 2 years ago, most of this stuff wasn't here. And the pricing was actually a little bit more expensive back then. So the product has gotten cheaper and you've gotten more for it over time. The last little tease I want to give there is that recognizing the low inventory scenario in most real estate markets and how everyone wants to be on the sell side of the deal, the most exciting new addition to this product wheel is going to be our new Seller Suite product, where we're going to actually put our hat in the arena of seller lead generation on Facebook, and also come up with a great suite of nurture tools for people trying to nurture a seller lead database and bolster their sell side business. So that is going to be extremely exciting. And yeah, definitely, I think that's definitely going to be the coolest thing we have yet when we release it. So so stay tuned for that.
I think from what I saw, some of the targeting you were doing wouldn't work in Canada. So not all of the targeting would work, but everything else of the platform would work. And like the remarketing and most of the ads would work. There's just a couple things like targeting. You can't target people based on income in Canada. Yeah. You can't target people based on like if they're going to move.
Yeah.
So there's some things that are locked down, but I'd say like 90% of what we saw, everybody's going to be able to rock. What's the best way for a person to reach out to you, either to do a demo or just to find out more? How do they do that? Obviously,
yeah, so pretty simple. Feel free to email me directly at sean@ylopo.com if you would like to do a demo and go through the product in more depth. There's a lot of stuff I didn't get the opportunity to show here, and I was kind of off the cuff here, so maybe a little bit disorganized. Naturally, we can dig in deep on any of this stuff. Or you can go directly to ylopo.com and just request a demo. That's probably the easiest way. But either way, sean@ylopo.com via email or ylopo.com and request a demo, and that will send a lead record directly through to my team. I'm Sean Pertil. I'm the director of sales at Ylopo. I don't do a ton of demos, but I'm happy to do one with you. So
cool. This is the best all-in-one package I've seen. The marketing side, I've never seen anybody be able to do what you guys are doing. So yeah, you definitely caught my interest. Now, before we hang up, because you said you may have missed a couple of things, what was like the one or two things that we missed that I'll spare you an extra little bit of time. Is there anything that you really wanted to go over that you're like, oh man, I wish I could have talked about this?
Yeah, I mean, naturally, like for example, when you get a lead, the entire lead viewing history is accessible to you on what we call Ylopo Stars. So the individual agent working the system, just to make it clear, would spend a lot of their time in Follow Up Boss working with independent lead records, and a lot of time in Ylopo Stars looking at the viewing history for their leads, each individual session, how many homes they view, the ability to push listings, the ability to customize searches, but not having to do it manually. This is something that I'm not a realtor, so sometimes I surprise people with my lack of knowledge occasionally. One guy was like, you mean I don't have to make my own search for my leads? You just do it for me? And the answer is yes, we do. But if you want to customize that search, you can just do that right here. You can literally fine tune the search, submit and save. And when that consumer goes back on the home search experience, they're going to have a brand new search that you made for them. That stuff I didn't get the chance to go into too much. Things like listing alert emails, right? So we do all the out of the box expected things beyond all the really kind of cool stuff I wanted to show you today. All the out of the box things like listing alert emails, customizable drip campaigns, the ability to text and email and so on straight out of your CRM. That's naturally all here. But I think that stuff is in 2018, maybe getting a little boring. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too familiar with this stuff, but so I really wanted to show the cooler stuff as a result. Lead filtration. I didn't get the chance to go into lead filtration, and lead filtration is so powerful. This is where we literally will parse your lead database. We'll literally run it through a filtration algorithm. So as we generate leads for you, okay, we'll run them through a filtration algorithm. So we only deliver you the best. People who are afraid of Facebook leads because they've been bombarded with bad leads in the past. When they come to YLovo, I want to make it clear to you that we can really, really move the needle on quality with our filtration algorithm. And you actually control the lever of filtration on mission control. There's just so much stuff. Location, targeting, specificity. It's just so much stuff. So Dan, I really, really appreciate your time. And it was just an honor to be able to show the system to everybody. And
I actually could see, like, with the growth you guys have going on, maybe I'll have you on again once you have the seller system up and running. Honestly, this is, if I was an agent, I'd be on this program in a heartbeat. Of all the technology I've covered, you really sparked my interest on this. It's so cool what you're doing. Like, I almost don't even want to do Facebook ads for agents anymore. I'm just going to be like, yeah, you got to go over to YLovo.
Dan, I really appreciate that. That's
cool. Okay, no, I appreciate you. So I'll end this recording and then I'll get you a copy of it, okay?
Awesome. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Hello, everybody. We have a special guest today. So for the last couple of weeks on our show, we've been interviewing the Inman Innovator Awards. So I thought, how perfectly fitting would it be if we actually had somebody from Inman share with us what they're all about. So we have Matthew Shadbolt, who's going to be sharing with us basically the upcoming conferences that they do, the industry news that they produce. They're a huge juggernaut in the industry. If you don't know who they are, you should. So Matthew, welcome to being with us, and please share who you are and what it is you guys do for the industry.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Matthew from Inman. I'm the Chief Marketing and Product Officer there, which basically means that I'm responsible for anything that touches the user. I'm responsible for the user experience. I'm responsible for the subscription business and awareness around what we do in the conference space as well, making sure that people buy tickets and essentially, getting the word out about speakers and stuff like that. So I run a fairly large team here at Inman. So as the design team, the development team, the subscription team, analytics, social media, and we sort of oversee all of the user experience and growth initiatives here at Inman. So I work really, really closely with our editorial team and audience development initiatives around making sure that the right people see those stories, that we are rolling those initiatives up to the subscription initiatives in terms of people actually subscribing to Inman and getting the news on a daily basis and sort of building habits around that stuff. And then working closely with our peers in the sales team to make sure that all of that stuff rolls up to our commercial efforts around advertising, people wanting to reach Inman's audience in a sort of meaningful and powerful way. So lots going on in Inman at the moment, but our main sort of driving motivation is to be as helpful as possible. That's like, if people say to me, like, what is it that Inman does? What is it that you do at Inman? Our role is to be as relentlessly as helpful as we possibly can every single day in terms of solving problems for people in the industry. Whether that is at an individual agent level, at a team level, at a CEO level, we cater to lots of different audiences within the industry. And our sort of guiding principle is really like, how can we be as helpful as possible, whether that's in person at conferences or online every day as part of our journalism.
Right on. So some people still might not even know Inman. You guys basically cover topics right across the board, and it's almost like an industry newspaper in a way. There's an online version of it. Obviously, do you guys do print as well, or is it
We
purely
do not.
online?
It's purely online
Yeah.
and then offline at our annual conferences. We do a January event in New York, a summer event in San Francisco, and there are ancillary events around that as well. So we do a luxury event in October in Beverly Hills, and then we do sort of like a retreat themed event, like a leadership retreat event as well, which is a lot of fun. It changes venue every year.
Right.
So earlier this year we did it in Palm Springs, which was a lot of fun. So sort of disconnect from the desert was the idea there.
And so, what's the upcoming event? That's the one in San Francisco?
Yeah, we're just about 3 weeks out from the big event in San Francisco. We got about 4,000 people coming to join us. It's over 4 days, and we have some really, really great speakers. Gary Keller, CEO of Keller Williams, is going to sit down with our founder, Brad Inman, and talk about everything that Keller Williams is doing. We've got Robert Refkin from Compass, Glenn Kelman from Redfin. We've got executives from Zillow, Open Door. Anybody that's sort of like really doing some sort of, really interesting work in the real estate space. All the folks from Realogy are going to be there, whether that's Coldwell Banker or Better Homes and Gardens, Century 21, Sotheby's. It's a really, really massive sort of coming together of the industry to solve problems. We very much encourage our attendees to bring their problems to Connect and have them solved either live on stage or as part of the pretty incredible networking that happens as a natural part of the event there too. So really looking forward to it. Our team are in the sort of eye of the storm at the moment, putting all this stuff together, but it was a ton of fun.
Is there a common theme for it? Is it focused on technology? Is it focused on, or is it kind of a mishmash where people can come and pick their own adventure?
Yeah, it's definitely choose your own adventure for sure. So if you're a team, there's definitely like a thread of sort of coverage throughout the conference that is appropriate to teams. There's a teams track, which is an entire afternoon devoted to teams. But then there's also individual keynotes and sessions around the sort of theme of teams as well, like individual agents sharing case studies around how they grew their team, what happened when their team imploded, all of those kind of things. Huh. So whether you're a marketer or an individual agent, a broker owner, a CEO, there's definitely sort of choose your own adventure paths through those 4 days that are very, very powerful just for you. But the overarching theme of the conference this year, we're calling it Faster, Better Together, really because we think that there's this unique moment happening in the industry where you have the sort of the energy and the investment going on in the startup community or with younger brokerages that are really trying to develop new ways of being able to purchase houses, whether that's the sort of iBuyer model or the Zillow instant offers model, or different ways of thinking about the transaction. There's that sort of side of things, and then you've got sort of like the more established brokerage brands that are moving faster than ever. So you've got the big guy really doubling down on technology, investing a lot in technology and thinking about technology in a way that they haven't done historically. So you've got this sort of collision of these two things, of these two forces. And we think that Inman is in a unique position to be able to help make sense of all this in terms of like where to spend your time, where to spend your energy as an individual agent or as a team or as a brokerage. So we see the sort of collision of all these things, especially centered around technology, happening at the moment. And I think one of the things that Pete Flint, the founder of Trulia, said at our New York conference in January, he said that the last 10 years have very much been characterized years. You've got the rise of Zillow and Trulia and lots of brokerage websites like really focusing on the technology around search and what happens on their websites. But he said the next 10 years is going to be very much focused on the transaction. When you think about like what the closing table looks like digital hasn't really hit the closing table yet at scale. You've got sort of like paperless transactions that are gaining momentum, but like really optimizing the transaction, I think. And I think that there's a lot to the sentiment of that. So there's going to be lots of sort of discussion around what's coming and how brokerages are thinking about their technology and how they're going to adapt to that.
And the cool thing about conferences like that one is that it's a lot of really like-minded people, like forward-thinking people, technology-driven people, fast-paced in movers in the industry are all going to be converging at this one location for a 1 week period. So there's probably a lot of people are going to be doing networking afterwards. Like a lot of people would just get value from that. Not that they wouldn't get value, like obviously they would, but a lot of people when they go to conferences, some of the big takeaways they get are from the side conversations they have in the hallways after and being inspired by one of the speakers and then talking to somebody else about it, and then it snowballs, right? So
Yeah, and one of the great things about that we see already is the networking's already started. We have an app that allows people to set up time with each other as like a meeting scheduler inside of the app. We have a pretty vibrant Facebook group, which is really, people are organizing time with each other. But also, one of the great things about the networking off stage, and you have access to, 4,000 people that are just trying to sort of figure it out, just like you as well. So yes, the sessions are super powerful, and, there's some really heavy hitters in the mix there. But I'm a 12-year veteran of going to Connect. I worked in the industry before I worked for Inman, and having gone there for 12 years, I can absolutely attest to the power of what goes on once the sessions break. In my team, when we think about the experience of Connect, sort of winning that moment of what happens when the sessions break and sort of allowing attendees to continue that conversation in the hallways, at dinner, over cocktails, whatever it might be, that's a really, really important part of the Connect experience in terms of being able to solve problems and sort of bring those answers back home. I talk to my team a lot about the importance of winning that Monday morning moment. So, you go to Connect all week, and you have this incredibly intense learning experience, intense networking experience. It's very tiring going to Connect, because there's so much that goes on there, whether it's the sessions or the networking or whatever it might be. You absorb a tremendous amount of information, which is really, really exciting. But what I'm interested in is, let's back to their desk in their brokerage on a Monday morning. What is it that they do? What is the actionable stuff? What is it that they change in their business, and what do they tell their colleagues who didn't come to Connect? I'm interested in that kind of thing, and that's really how we think about the schedule, and how we think about the marketing, and how we think about the whole sort of experience and sort of helpfulness of Connect.
I actually have a tool specifically for that. So when you go to a conference, you do a laundry list of all the top tools, technology, and ideas that you generated. You list them all out, and then you prioritize them 1, 2, 3, 4 through to whatever the number is. And then you narrow that down to your one thing and chip away. And it's a really cool exercise. It's really easy. I could get it to one of your writers and they could like blog about it or something. So like even this conference coming up, that's got to be a bombshell for all of your writers to be sitting there and creating all this content. Like every time you guys do a conference, you must have an explosion of content come out, because they're at that, like, I'm sure they're chipping away, writing up all the ideas and all, summarizing everything. So first you said the app. How would a person find the app, or is it only after they registered for the event?
No, you can download the app inside the iTunes store, or it's available on Google Play.
Okay, and what would they search? Inman Connect or just Inman?
Just Inman Connect San Francisco, or ICSF, which is our hashtag.
Okay, cool.
It's very easy to find.
And
you're right. I mean, our journalists publish maybe like 20 stories a day as part of the regular beat of what they do, throughout the course of a normal business day. But one of the great things that we offer, especially for people that can't come to the conferences, is we offer a live stream of the main sessions as well.
Oh,
so if
cool.
you're unable to, make it, if you're a subscriber to Inman.com, if you're a what we call an Inman Select member, you can actually tune in live to those sessions as well, and then get access to the video recaps afterwards as well. So that's actually a really helpful resource, because there's so much that it's very easy to to miss a bunch of steps into their coverage. So, you know, when Brad talks, there'll be like the video recap, or you can tune into the live stream, or there'll be a recap from our journalists. So it's sort of this sort of multi-pronged approach that has, you know, the ability to tune in as well as some commentary as well as the ability to sort of watch on demand as well, which is a lot of fun.
That is really cool, because when I go to a conference, sometimes there's like 3 things happening all at the same time, and I have to choose one because there's only one of me, and I miss out on the other 2. So those people would actually not actually have to miss out on anything because they could just go back. Also, when you're at those events live, you're taking your notes as best you can, but sometimes you have to like, oh man, I missed that one part. So you could go back in time to re-go over it or share it with your team. What's the name of the Facebook page, the business page, but what's the name of the group, do you know?
Yeah, I do know. I do know. It's my job to know. So the Facebook page is called Inman Coast to Coast. And cool. We have about 15,000 people in there. Really great. It's a very, very vibrant community. Lots of very spirited discussions around you know, the sort of news of the day. Lots of people will be sort of chipping in on our stories. We often solicit feedback from that group in terms of, you know, what should we ask Gary Keller on stage, or what would you like to see it connect? What else should we be doing with Inman.com? You know, it's a very, very vibrant community of real estate professionals from all over the world, not just the US. There's lots of people from all walks of the business, which is really exciting to see.
That's cool. And so the Inman Select, so can we talk a little bit about that? So that's people can go online to inman.com and read some articles, I'm assuming, but the Inman Select opens up the gateway to everything, including all the videos and future content. What's Inman Select look like? So
Inman Select is our subscription product. Not all articles are what we call open, so we have gated articles as part of our online experience. So you know, we're sort of like any sort of regular news site. There's a certain degree of our content that we ask you to pay for, and in addition to you know, a certain degree of gated articles every day, there are specific subscriber benefits as well. So access to Inman Connect videos is one of them. So there's a huge archive of Connect videos. So if you've missed something at the conference, you can watch videos on demand, and that's available only to subscribers. There's lots of what we call special reports and guides. So there's a monthly sort of deep dive into a specific topic, whether that's how to generate leads on Facebook, how to understand you know, technology in a certain way around iBuyers, or you know, the new advanced white paper is probably the best way I could describe it. So there's like a monthly white paper that our journalists, there's surveys as part of that, and it's a great resource for a particular topic, and it's a great opportunity to just get really, really smart about something that's very, very timely. So those happen every month. Those are subscriber only. We have a Saturday morning newsletter that we call the Wrap, which is essentially sort of, it's written by our editor-in-chief, and it allows our readers to go behind the stories every week. So it's sort of the sort of behind the music of the week's stories. So, you know, what it took to actually, you know, put together the Zillow iBuyer story, or what happened, you know, with the recent Redfin announcement, or sort of like a look into the process of actually creating the new chief in terms of what he's focused on, what he's thinking about, what he sees, what his team sees. And it's sort of this great kind of Saturday morning coffee moment where the editor-in-chief talks essentially one-on-one to the subscribers and sort of says, you know, here's what I'm thinking about, and here's what's interesting me. Here's what's on my mind right now. So there's lots and lots of benefits to becoming a Select subscriber, and it's less than $60 a quarter, which is pretty inexpensive, about $15 a month, and for that, you get access to thousands and thousands of articles every month. And like I said, the full video archive, the live streams for Connect, you get discount off your ticket for Connect. So if you're a Select subscriber, you can get in a little bit cheaper. You get $100 off just by default there. You get the wrap on a Saturday morning. So there's lots and lots of benefits to becoming an Inman subscriber. Plus, you're also sort of like, part of the discussion there, and you get like a really healthy daily dose of exactly what's going on. We have a lot of people that tell us that they sort of wake up with Inman and understand the what's going on in the industry as they have their coffee every morning as well, which is exciting for us to hear.
I like that part. I like the summarization at the end of the week, because if they are producing, say, 20 pieces of content a day, that's a lot of content for a person to filter. So having somebody summarize it at the end of the week, I think, really, really smart. And then when a person logs into Inman, can they filter things based on either who they are as for sales reps, broker owner managers? Can they filter? Is there a way of filtering the content?
Yeah, you can search. There's a free text keyword search in there, but we also categorize things on inman.com. So whether it's technology or brokerage or MLS or broker owner, whatever your sort of particular flavor of interest is, you can segment and filter just to see the most recent stories in that particular category as well. We make it very easy for you.
That's cool. I don't think a lot of people knew about the fact that you could watch the conference just by being a member of Select. So that's cool that you can actually watch those videos. So I'm assuming the best way for a person to do this is to go to inman.com, and there'll be a pop-up or there'll be a registration. It's called Inman Select. Is there another way that you want them to do it, or is that the cleanest way?
That's definitely the cleanest way. Inman.com/select is the URL to become a member. If you are thinking about becoming a member with a team, so if there's like a group of you that want to sign up, so if you want you and your office or you and your team or whatever is in addition to you, there are some specific discounts and perks that go along with that as well. So we're happy to work with you and get it to work for you, whether that's on the Select subscription side or even buying tickets to Connect as well.
How does a person reach say there is a team or say there is a brokerage? Because a lot of these people that tune in are brokerages, and then they share it to their agent. So if a brokerage did want to do something like that, who do they contact, or what would they do?
They can reach out directly to me. I'm Matthew@inman.com. Super simple.
Matthew@inman.com. That's the email. Perfect. That's a good one. And I'll put, I won't put that in the video notes because I don't want you to get spammed, but I'll type it out on the video so people can see it.
Sure. I appreciate that. Thank you, Dan.
Cool. No, hey, Matthew, thank you. I appreciate you. I know you're busy with the upcoming conference. This video, some people might be watching this video in 6 months, 8 months, a year from now and think, oh man, I'm missing this San Francisco conference because it's already done. Well, they do this on a yearly. I think he said you got like 4 events yearly or something like that. So if you're watching this video and the date has already passed, just go to Inman, you can type in Inman Connect, and it'll come up with all the other dates and times for the future events. So don't think that you're missing out just because you're watching this video at a future date. Matthew, thank you for being with us. I'm going to stop this video.
Hey, if you want to close more real estate transactions, get more buyer leads, and get more seller leads, click this button right here. It'll take you to our real estate group coaching page. Also, if you like this video and want more, you can subscribe by pressing this, or you can check out some of my past videos here. Enjoy!